Hi, this is Kate from Izzalicious Designs, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make my little Darth Vader action figure. And we're going to do four parts for him actually: his lightsaber, his body, his cape and his helmet. And we're going to do it all on one loom. The loom is going to be standard configuration. You are going to need your Rainbow Loom tool because it has a base removal tool on the back of it. And we're going to be doing a lot of taking bases off and moving them across in this particular design. As I said, all columns are going to be the same height. We are going to be double banding. We're going to start with the helmet, and it's going to be all black. His helmet and his cape are all black. So let's get started. Double banding. We're going to need 11 columns. So this is going to be a bit of a fiddle factor, but no more so than the ball charms. So the first two columns are going to be going down 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And you will need an end cap. Single band, wrap it around your fingers twice and pop it on the end like that. I'm sorry for my dreadful sounding voice and nose. We're all riddled with colds and flu in this family at the moment, so I sound a bit dreadful. And an end cap. Thank you, Rainbow Loom. Don't know if anybody else is having trouble with some of the Rainbow Loom black bands. They've been awful for me lately. Okay, column number 3 is just going to have 6 pair. And an end cap. Now we're going to need some crossover bands. Crossover bands are going to be a single band that we stretch across like this. And you are going to stretch one across this one as well, like that. Okay, now we're ready to loom up column 1 and column 2. Dig down past the end cap, grab the 2 black bands and loom up. Push the crossover band out the way to expose those 2 bottom bands. And we're going to do the second one as well. Hold on to that end cap so it doesn't fly off the loom. Oops, and I can see we have an escape artist here. There we go. Now I'm going to use a holding hook to hold the columns off as I finish with them. So taking my holding hook, and you can use a pencil, doesn't matter. Take that first column off the loom, and we're going to take this column of pegs off our loom and move that so that it can become column number 4. And we're going to lay our bands for column number 4. Column number 4 is going to have 5 pair. And an end cap, and we're going to pull these crossover bands over to incorporate that new column that we've just made. Now this one doesn't have anywhere to pull over to, so you just leave it there. So dig down past the end cap, grab the 2 black bands and loom up. And we're just looming the middle row. Now we can take this second column, middle row, middle column. We can take this second column off, and we're going to turn our loom upside down and take out these little bases and move them across. Then we're going to take off this column of pegs and move it to be in position number 5. Position number 5 just has 4 pair of black bands. Four pair. And I'm going to put an end cap on the end here. I'm going to pull my crossover bands over to incorporate that new column, and I'm going to loom up by digging down and finding those bottom 2 black bands. Another one broke. Bit crazy. Right, let's take that one back and we'll replace the other band. I'm going to place the band on here. I'm going to go under my end cap. There we go. Now I'm ready to take off this column. Turn your loom over and move the base up, and then we'll take off this column of base pegs and move it across. This is now going to be column number 6. It has 4 pair as well. We're going to pull over the crossover bands like that. Now I'm going to tuck that one above this like that. I'm going to dig down and I'm going to grab those 2 bottom bands and loom up. And now I'm going to take this column off the loom. Turn my loom over using my base removal tool. Scoot up those bases. This is going to be number 7, column number 7, and it's going to have 4 pair as well. Look at this. Now, I'm going to start with a new set of crossover bands because we've already gone across 6 columns. So taking a single band, I'm going to stretch this across like this. And I'm going to put an end cap on this one here as well. And on that one. I cannot maneuver the new hook. Okay, I'm going to go down past those crossover bands and the end cap and grab the 2 black bands and loom up. This is then ready to take off the loom. I'm taking the big one off this time. Move it across. Now we're up to number 8. Number 8 is going to have 5 pair of black bands. Stretch your crossover bands over. Put an end cap on this one. I'm going to move this. No, I'm not. It's already, I'm moving it above this line here. Dig down, find the 2 bands and loom up. Push those crossover bands out of the way with the back of your hook. Move the smaller bases. And now the column of pegs. And we're up to number 9. Number 9 has 6 pair. Put an end cap. And we're going to put a crossover band between these 2. Stretch these over. Sorry, I'm sucking on a cough drop at the moment because my throat is so sore, and I think it's the only way that I'm actually able to talk. Push your hook back, pushing all of the end cap and crossover bands out the way, and loom forward. Now we'll take number 8 off our loom, turn our loom upside down, and move this across. And this is going to be our last column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I'm telling you fibs. We've got 2 more columns. That was number 9. This is number 10, and it's 7 pair. Yeah. You You could hear the excitement in my voice, couldn't you, thinking that we were nearly finished. An end cap, a crossover band, and then let's pull these crossover bands over, and we'll loom up the middle. Didn't like how that one went. Let's do it again. Put that band back. Put our end cap back. Put our crossover band back. Let's pop this one over there like that. Dig down. Let's keep a hold of the end cap this time. There we go. That's better. Now we're going to take this one off the loom. So this is actually number 8, not the one I said before. Move this across, and we have 7 pair. And we need an end cap here. Pull your crossover bands over, and we're ready to loom. Dig down past the end cap. Because this is our last column, we can loom this one up too. Like that. We're now ready to take these 3 off our loom, and we can do it all at the same time. And this is how it will look. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is put all of this, every single loom here, onto a single rubber band. Let's take a single black, keeping it taut so that it doesn't loosen up and you don't, the bands don't fall off. Let's move these all over. And reclaim the end of your single band onto your hook here. We're now going to take the one closest to you, up, over and off, and pull it tight. And we're going to sew this up so that this forms his helmet, like that. Okay, so what we're going to do, take another single black band and slide that loop onto it. Reclaim the end of the black band and take the one closest to you up, over and off, and pull tight. Now you've made that into sort of like a little bit of a long thread. And working from inside, we're going to just push our hook through a couple of the bands and pull the loop that we've made through. moving down the helmet as you do this, so you're sort of sewing this together. I know it's very hard to see because we're using black bands. So I'm just collecting, putting my hook through about 2 bands on the side here, putting my loop on the end and pulling it through. Okay, so I have the loop, that last loop there on my hook, and that's his helmet. So what I'm going to do is take an S-clip and just attach that to that last loop until I'm ready to attach this to his head. Okay, and stretch it out a bit. Or if you feel more comfortable, you can just leave this there and attach that S-clip up further. I like to drag it further up the back of his helmet, but if you wanted to, you could turn it inside out, find a loop here that you're comfortable with, attach it to the clip, and then turn it back the right way again. And then you have the clip hidden inside his helmet like that. Okay, we're going to work on his body, so our loom is going to have to change configuration. The centerpiece is going to be in the center. The 2 smaller pieces are still going to be holding all 3 columns, and the middle column is going to come up so that your loom is now in the offset position. Okay, we're going to be double banding. We're going to be starting with black. And you will need your silver bands for his body. The 5th band. So using some silver bands, put a silver here, silver here. Now when I say silver, I'm talking about a pair of silver, and silver here. Silver here. I'm going to try and make it so that they're not too twisted. and silver across here. Now from these 2 points, what I want to do is sort of make a bit of a mouthpiece for him. So I'm going to take a silver band, 1, wrap it around my hook 3 times, and I'm going to do that again with another one. Okay, I'm going to slide those onto a silver band. Okay, and that's going to just go across here. We're going to do the eyes, so take a single band, twist it once, twice, 3 times, place that there. Then using our pony beads, not mini pony beads, I'm doing big ones because it's sort of like for his mask, and a single black band, I'm going to put the pony beads on my hook and thread them on, and they are going to go across here. But to make this into like a crossover band, I'm going to just put one side of my band up over this peg and the other side of it, like that. Next we're doing his neck, 3 black bands. Shoulders, I'm going to use silver. There's a pair here, a pair here, and a pair here for his, down to his chest. Again, I'm going to see if I can just unravel these so they're not so twisted. There we go. 3 pair of black bands, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 2 down the middle. So taking 2 more bands in black, we're going to loom all the way down to the bottom of our loom. Like that on that column, and now on column 1. We're going to put a pair of silver bands here and going across here on the diagonal, and from here to here on the diagonal, like that. And we're going to take a single silver band and figure 8, loop it on itself, and pop one there, one here, and one on this one, like that. We're going to do his shoes, his boots. Take 2 black bands, place your hook through, wrap once and twice, and you're going to slide those onto 2 black bands, like that. Reclaim the end of your bands onto your hook. Do that again. 1 and 2, and that's going to go onto 2 black bands, like that. Now instead of reclaiming the end of these bands, we're going to take the ones we did first, and the side that is closest to the end of the hook we're going to lift up and over and place on those bands. We're then going to take this off our hook and swap it with the side on the opposite side. And we're going to take the last 2 bands here, up, over and off, so everything is on these new set of bands, and then we're going to reclaim them and they will act as our first little boot. And I'll pop that on the end of the leg here. I've got a twisted band and it's making his shoe look funny. Alright, and for the other side, again we're going to do 2 black bands, twist it once and twice, slide onto 2 black bands. Do that again, 2 black bands, twist once and twice, and slide onto 2 black bands. We're not going to recapture, we're going to take the side closest to the end of the hook, up, over and off, and then swap sides with those bands, like that, and then reclaim, and that can go that side. Now let's do at least 1 crossover band up here, but the others we're going to wait until we've done his belt. So let's loom up, pull his foot down, grab those 2 bottom black bands, and we'll start our looming process. Just go up to his groin area here on both sides. Now we're going to loom the 2 silvers in to the centre, and we're going to loom, dig down and find those 2 bottom silvers. I found one, let's find the other, and loom them up. Do the same with the black, loom up twice. Now what we want to do is get our hook underneath this set of bands here and dig these silver bands over the top. We're going to do flip top silver bands, so put your hook under the silver and pull them forward like that. Okay, on all of these 3 that have the silver, you want to go under the silver bands here and pull forward. Now if you're having a problem with this, I do have a little video that goes quite slowly and closely to help people make belts. Go under this, grab both of the silver and pull them over like that, so that they have captured both sides of that band there. Now this is when we're going to place our crossover band across here. Single band and do it like a triangle. Okay, now I'd really rather have this hidden so that it's not on top of this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lift it up, take the first 2 bands off, place that triangle one under, and do the same there. Again, take the crossover off, lift the first 2, place my crossover and put back. Now I'm going to loom up just the black band, loom up to the arms, dig down past the arms to get those 2 silver shoulder bands, from the throat up to the neck, dig down, find the 3 black bands for the neck. Now we've got some fun and games with our face. All of this body is now secure. We're going to go in through this peg here and grab the 2 top bands, which are silver, and loom them across. Oops. Same on the other side. The 2 top ones now, and loom them across. Now I want this to be on the top, so I'm going to lift that up over this peg here, dig down and loom this middle one up over there, and then I'm going to replace that here like that. I'm then going to dig down, and I need to find these ones that are going on the diagonal, and I want to loom them to the diagonal, but just the 2 bands that are on the diagonal. So across, and across. Okay, now I'm going to dig down and find the 2 black and loom up and loom up. Dig down here and find the 2 black, and we'll loom them up. This can be loomed to the top here, and likewise we'll loom all these up. Like so. So he is all loomed up. What I really want to do is have this hat, the helmet, so it actually sits on him. And to do that, I'm going to flip it inside out, and I want to work this little loop that I have down here. I'm going to add extra so that it comes up here, and then I'm going to have a tie-off band here that I'm going to attach to here. So I'm going to hold that little clip and put my hook through the loop and take that clip off. I'm going to take a single black band and put that little loop through it. I'm trying to make it so you can see, like that. Reclaim the end of your band, and the side closest to you, take it up, over and off, so that we have something to do our sewing with, so to speak. And what you're going to do is hit your camera is gently maneuver by going through some of these bands, this loop up to the top of the hat. Okay, so that's one part. And it doesn't have to be too pretty because this is on the inside, nobody's going to see it. But you don't want it to look like a dog's dinner either. Up to the top here. And at the top you're going to have this loop there. Alright? Now that, with the longest part facing to the back and the shortest part facing to the front, that loop is what's going to sit on here and help us tie it in. And it's not going to be very tight, but at least it's going to be tied in. So what we're going to do, as we take this off, we're going to take a pair of black. I'm going to dig my hook down all of these, including the one that we just added, and put my black pair of bands on that hook. I'm going to twist my hook so that the back side of it is going against those bands and doesn't snag anything. And I'm coming round to the back side of that peg. Reclaim the end of my bands, take the 2 closest to me, up, over and off, and pull into a slip knot. Okay, and that should be nice and secure. Now I'm going to ease this off my loom using the back of my metal hook. Okay, now we have this secured with a slip knot. Okay, we're going to flip his head back the right way, and as we do so we're going to put that slip knot to the back of his head and poke his head in the helmet. like that. Now these eyes are huge, but they're supposed to be like that because it's part of a mask. Okay, stretch him out a bit. Now we need to do his cape and his lightsaber. So his cape is 10 rows, all of which are going to be 8 columns. If you have an extended loom, that's fantastic. You can just do it all on that. If you don't, we can do it on a single loom again. And what we're going to do is have it in a standard configuration where they're all the same height. And we're going to double band. So take 2 bands and place them on the peg as if they were the same. And go down 10. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and on the 10th you're going to put an end cap, which is a single band that you'll wrap around your fingers twice and pop that there. So let's put the rest of our bands on. And an end cap. And an end cap. We're going to do some crossover bands. It's a single band and stretch it across these columns. And we're going to loom up column 1 and 2. Push back on the crossover band with the back of your hook. Hold the end cap in place so it doesn't fly off. Using a holding hook, we'll take this first column off. Turn your loom upside down and remove the bases with your Rainbow Loom crochet hook. The other end of it has got the base removal tool. And we'll move that peg, a row, column of pegs to the 4th position. And we will do 10 pair down here. I'm blaming my mind on the fact that I'm sick. And Dayquil. Put an end cap on. And don't forget, let's drag our crossover bands over. And loom up this middle row. Okay, so we can take column number 2 off, and I keep saying row instead of column, you know what I mean. Number 5. And an end cap. And we'll loom up column 4, but let's move the crossover bands over. Phew! Nearly forgot to do that, that would have been bad. Number 6. An end cap, and we're going to use new crossover bands, so just take a single band and stretch it from the middle column across to the right, And now we'll loom up our middle column. Please remember you have a pause button. If I go too fast, just pause me and turn it back on when you've caught up. If I go too slow, people complain that the videos are too long. So it's difficult to find a happy medium. Column 7. I think I said this was 10 columns. It's not, it's 8 columns. 10 rows. An end cap. Pull the crossovers across. And we'll loom up the middle one. I'll take this one off our loom. Turn over. And our last column will be 8. And we'll put an end cap here. Move these across for the last time. And loom both of these columns up. And take all 3 of these off the loom. You need to stretch it out a bit. And that one was only looped twice instead of 3 times. I can see that right now, and I felt it happen. That's annoying. Never mind. Yours will look perfect because you will have looped it 3 times, not twice. So I'm going to take a single black band and replace it on the end of my hook here, and we're going to thread these over. Like that. Reclaim the end of your band onto your hook. Now this is his cape, like that. And this is how it's going to be on him. What we're going to do is we need to stretch this. Stretch one side and place it over his head, and then stretch the other side and place it over his head so that it sort of sits on his shoulders, and then obviously you're going to want to adjust how deep his hat is on him, like that. It helps if I do it so you can see, doesn't it? And we need to make a lightsaber, so we'll get our loom one more time. And the other thing I might do with his eyes as well, so that they stand out a bit, is I'm going to do a silver, with a silver Sharpie, I'm going to do a silver slit like that on his eyes. So for his lightsaber, this is where we're going to use red. Take a single band, twist it on itself, and starting from the top of your loom with your red bands looped on themselves, I'm now going to do a silver looped on itself, and then black, I'm doing 2 black like that, and I'm going to do another black from here to here and a black from here to here, so that the handle is a bit bulkier. And I'm going to put an end cap on the end here, again being black, like that. Now with my hook, I'm going to take the 2 top, which are these 2 on the diagonal, and loom them up, and loom these up, and then I'm going to come down here and loom up and these up, silver, and then I'm on the red, and that just gets loomed up like a normal chain. top here you're going to take a single red band and tie off, and take this off the loom like so. Okay, so there's his lightsaber. Now what we're going to do with the end bit is dig our hook through the middle here, where it's sort of in the middle, and you want to try and grab the loops and hide them in the middle of the construct like this. So that's one, except I think I've just hidden its own. Let's try that again. Try and go between the middle bands. And bring it back. And the same for the other one. And bring it back. And there, if you retract it a bit, you can see that the loops are actually inside. And the lightsaber is fine. Now we have a little loop where we had our end cap. There's 3 little bands here. These 3 are where we had our end cap, and what we're going to do is poke his hand through those 3 like so, and there he has his lightsaber, his cape with my 2 wrapped around twice end cap instead of 3 times, so it's much bulkier. Yours will look perfect. And his helmet and his lightsaber. I really look forward to seeing how yours turn out. Take care. Bye bye.